What's up, guys? Dusty here. Today we're checking out the Ninjaball layout. I've been on this layout 2 different days so far. On Sunday, we played with the DBS Factory guys, and we did a whole bunch of stuff on this layout, including 2-on-5s. And then I also did a private practice with the team last week. And so I have a pretty good feel for some of the different stuff on the layout, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to kind of review my thoughts. Quick rundown. The red lines are break shots. The green lines are kind of cross hold shots, and the blue lines are what I'd call trap shots, where you're looking to contain and keep people in the middle of the field. So that's what that stuff is. Let's just jump right into it. So this weekend I played mostly back center off the break. I don't particularly love that bunker once the game gets rolling. I think the only value it really has is it can hold the early Dorito players. So from the back center, boom, this green line right here shows that you can really hold the Dorito players here, boom. But off the break from the back center, let's just talk about the shots real quick. First shot, this is probably one of the better shots on the field because I think if you have someone who's a quick gun and the guy's not super fast, you can actually shoot the God player off the break. So you can whip your gun up and shoot the God player, boom, and then you can actually shoot also right over the outside of this pin, and paint will drop into where the corner guy's going. I don't think you'd hit the gateway if he ran this tight at all and like dove. I don't think you can drop paint into him, but you can definitely drop in the corner. I'm pretty sure we hit this like 2 out of 6 games, maybe 2 out of 7 games. And then this one, I'm not sure if we hit it at all, but I do believe the paint will drop there. We kind of checked out and looked at it. But the biggest thing is you got to be able to judge where this pin is, because if you shoot over into this pin, boom, you'll hit the pin instead of having it drop outside of it. So there is like a kind of tight window here that you have to shoot to hit that shot. And look in the other direction off the break. You can shoot into the D1 and the corner, but you can't shoot into the baby, and you can't really see where they go. So if you pull up, I think if I was to play this spot and I thought about this more, I would pull up and shoot right back at the back center first, my first like 3 paintballs, and then switch to the wide gap. The struggle is you're kind of guessing whether or not they're going to go D1 or corner, because this is all blind running into you. So those are the break shots from the back center. I do think, again, the only like really hold shot here is into the D side, but I would probably try to abandon this bunker pretty quick and not get stuck back here. I think the biggest thing though is just making a good decision so you don't fill away from what may become the weak side. There was a few games this weekend where I got a little anxious and would fill a corner, so we're 5 up. I fill the Dorito corner, boom, somebody dies on the other side, and next thing you know, we're really playing to a weak side of the field. And then there was also another game where off the break, we were playing the God and didn't get any wider than that, and I tried to fill the corner, and I believe I just got smoked by the opposite God guy. This guy shooting right here. So a couple things, you just can't force your way out of there. I do think one of the game plans that may work well is running past the Dallas or running past the God and leaving that bunker for a back center guy to slip into pretty quick to kind of take over a different responsibility. So, and then from the back center, one of the games that I think would be cool to play on this field that I think would work if we were on it a little bit better is going to the turret off the break. The turret has really good hold shots into the D1 right here. Boom, boom. And then the back center can also try to hold that gap. On this field, the D side, you can definitely hold as far as there's good shots into it and you can keep them from coming down it. Where on the snake side, the Dallas has good shots into kind of the back of the snake side of the field if you can trap them at the God, or into the actual snake gap. But this is like kind of a tight sliver. And so if this guy blind shoots back to the Dallas, it makes this gap really hard to hold. Yeah, so those are kind of the hold shots. But if we wanted to play a game with the Dorito guy, what we would do, and like we tried to do this, we didn't quite execute it well. I think if we played the loud again, we'd be able to do it better, is having a turret guy shoot at the D1, boom. Back center guy can also shoot the same way. And then what happens is when the D1 guy goes to put the back center in, the back center kind of lets him have it, and then he has to wrap and shoot at the turret. And then once the second that happens, he tells the back center guy, your turret guy tells the back center guy, boom, hey, shoot the D1. Hopefully you catch this guy wrapping, and then he has to really work through 2 guns. Or vice versa, this guy puts you in, you say, hey, I'm in, boom, the turret shoots the gap. Hopefully this guy moves right into a gun and you can kind of manufacture a free kill over there. But it's basically a good spot to make their front guy really have to work through 2 guns with limited support. It's kind of hard to support this front player because you really have to be following him up bunker to bunker, where any of the spots behind him, these guys can still just shoot the gaps and like hold them back there. So and then as we get going here, one of the other things I thought about is possibly taking, and if we're having a hard time holding the D side, having this turret guy come up. He has very, very, very good shots into the Dallas off the break. This is actually probably my favorite shot on the field, but you have to hit it right away. You basically can just pull your gun up from this outside grid, shoot right back into the Dallas off the break. You only have it for the first second. If they run it off the break, though, and they run any L, I think it's pretty easy to hit that guy. They have to like run and dive into the spot. So if you're having trouble making that Dallas off the break, just realize you may have to dive into that spot. But basically this guy shoots, Boom, right back into the Dallas, works his way up. He can switch and actually shoot the baby as he gets a little bit farther up there. And then instead of this guy just getting fixed up and holding the D gap here, we may have the back center hold this D gap, boom, so that this guy can go straight to the Viper. Because once this guy's in the Viper, he can hold the deeper gap, but it's really hard to wrap and shoot him. And then he can also take and shoot down at the S2. So if they get any like snake tension pressure, he could also switch and shoot right down to the S2 right here and kind of keep them honest. And then it also takes and makes this guy holding the back center shot on the D side, boom. If he's holding this gap here, it frees the back center gap to possibly go and push down the snake. So he becomes a second snake player to kind of drive us, boom, and go win on this side, where you end up being one edge guy, back center guy ends up being your insert. This kind of middle guy can fill over and either be the hold on either side. And then I also want to point out from this Viper, you also have these two blue lines. Those are trap shots. So if we do shoot the Dallas guy off the break and they're not wide on the Dallas, if you got here and held this trap shot, they'd have a very, very hard time ever getting back to this edge of the field, and it should become almost an easy win on that Dorito side. And then from the snake side, similar idea. This one's not quite as good of a hold, but if you wrapped this and had them at the God, you could just shoot this and really kind of keep them from being able to fill the gateway or the corner and really keep them trapped up and hopefully power down that snake side of the field. So that's the back center. That's playing the God. That's playing the turret. And then the next bunker I'm going to talk about is playing the God. This bunker, you kind of had to hustle out to it because, again, we had some success shooting these guys off the break, so you got to be kind of careful getting out here. But at the lower levels, you may not get shot coming here. It is a tight shot. The guy has to be kind of first ball on it. But playing the spot, mostly what we did, I think, is race out here, eyes up, boom, so this blue line can kind of be our hold on this side. It can also be a break shot. But getting out here so we could shoot this gap with this guy was really important just so we could see where they went. The Dallas guy can see them early, like see if anybody crosses this line here, like the insert snake line, but he can't tell if they go gateway, corner, or snake. And so really it means this guy has to race out and he has eye responsibility on this side. So whoever this edge player is, whether you're going here, corner, gateway, I think it's really important that he knows that he has to see where these guys go because nobody else can really see it with these bricks in the way. Boom. So with this spot, if you got stuck here, you could essentially hold the cross, like the D1 gap. I believe you can shoot right through that one. You can still shoot into the D2 gap. Once they break that one, I think they're just coming around quickly into the 50. So this you can hold early, but once they kind of get to the 50, it does become a little bit harder cross shot. I think this is the guy who ends up having to work for it or possibly fill in the corner. I did like playing this corner bunker. I played it a lot in 2-on-5s. You can shoot pretty much every gap across the field. The biggest thing with this one too is realizing that you can actually almost let them get like to the 50 and they still can't pinch you out. Even if they get here, like past the 50, you still have some feet to stand on as long as you're playing that bunker super small and getting super tight. And then it also means you're in the spot to kind of keep their snake in check. Even just by being here, it pretty much means that if you check the tape every once in a while, this guy can't just motor bro down and like wrap and shoot everybody. So this bunker I did really like playing like in the 2-on-5s and playing defense. I do also think getting here, one of the things you can do is if the Dallas is holding the cross shot, so Dallas has a good shot into the snake gap, he can just kind of roll his gun and shoot it. If you saw the little 2-on-5 video Danny posted, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's basically just shooting this gap here from the Dallas. The corner can stand up and just blind shoot right back into this guy. So if this guy's not playing this tight or like not doing it kind of perfectly as far as gun low, not in the kill zone, up high in the bunker, and then essentially kind of shooting his gun, bink, 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 then this guy really can make this guy's life hard when it comes to holding that gap. To help our guy slip into the snake. So that's another good thing from the corner. And then also this corner guy, one of the things I didn't put the line on here for, but I should have, is he can also wrap and just shoot like right outside of the God. I think the brick's in the way when it comes to like shooting directly at the God, but you can just shoot right here into this zone and really hold the trap as well. So if we had that scenario where this guy's holding the trap here, wrapping, blind shooting into the Dallas, boom, then we're going to be able to get in the snake and go win on that side. So that corner is quite functional. As far as the gateway off the break, I don't think we shot many people going here, and I don't think we necessarily died going here either. We didn't play it a ton from my experience. It does have good hold shots across the break. I left those off here on purpose. You should walk it and figure those out. But I left them off here because if we're running here off the break, this guy's priority has to be getting in the snake. Like pretty much no matter what happens, if this guy comes here, boom, gets in the snake real quick, that is the end goal. From the S1, you can shoot the Dallas, boom. And then also from the S2, one of the things you can do is you have to back up just a hair out of it, but you can shoot back into the Dorito corner, so you might catch those guys napping there. And then from that point forward, it's more about just getting down the snake as quickly as possible. I don't think there was any games where I ever stopped at S3. I played the snake twice this weekend. A lot of times it was getting into their S2. Being able to push up into it allows you to shoot the D1, boop, right back into the back of it. But you got to like push into the bunker a little bit to do it. You can also wrap on the inside, shoot the turret, shoot the D2. Like the nice thing about this Viper being here is that you can make some of these inside wrap shots without having much worry about the Dorito guys. You just have to do it low. And then same thing, going down the tape quickly and getting up here and wrapping is eventually the end game. Like wrapping this, shooting the God, wrapping, shooting the Dallas. You can make those guys bunker super, super small. But I think ideally getting to their S2 is kind of the first little stop point if we can get all the way down there, just because again, shooting D1, shooting the corner, being able to really kind of make them blow it up, the back guys on that D side of the field. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's work backwards here. And so we talked about kind of playing the middle of the field on the snake side. Let's talk about on the Dorito side. This beast bunker. This bunker is kind of unique. I don't necessarily love it for holding the Dorito side of the field. And I only say that because anybody filling from basically the back center kind of can catch you by surprise if he pops into the Dallas just because this beast is in the way. And then also the Dallas is like a little bit wider than you, so if he puts you in, I think you can still, so you can basically slip into these bunkers as long as you do it really smart, even if this beast guy's here. But one of the values of this bunker is he can actually come here and shoot like down at the outside of the S1. So if they do make it snake off the break or something and we end up here, we can actually hold them up in the S1 and also in the S2 by just shooting at the outside of this. But that does consist of like rolling your gun and just like keeping paint in those gaps because he can kind of sneak around this real quick if you're caught napping or if you turn. Outside of that, I don't particularly love this bunker. More specifically because I feel like on this field it's really important that we support and attack the edges because you do have such a powerful snake and the Dorito side is so hard to hold, or excuse me, is so easy to hold that like coming up in these little middle spots may end up meaning that we just like lose our edge guys and are in bad spots to fill back. I do think there is situations though where maybe coming in here, being able to wrap and like shoot in the turret, boom, possibly wrap and shoot in the corner is going to actually help us jump these gaps though, so that's another value of playing this position. But again, if we suck two guys up in these middles, we really have to choose which way we're playing island and which way we're, kind of going to give up the support role from. So, and then next spot I'm going to talk about is kind of playing this Dallas. As I mentioned already earlier, this Dallas is kind of a unique one because it seems like it's a safe, close bunker. When we practiced it, I had tons of luck from back here. Boom, just pulling my gun up and shooting the Dallas immediately. Specifically, if the guy ran the L and tried to shoot, if this guy tried to shoot his gun, it basically gives him like a super small landing pad to be safe in. Whereas at the pro level, I would not be surprised if these guys like cut this tight and dove into the exact spot to get safe, just because it gives you like kind of the safest landing pad and then quickly pull your gun up and shoot the snake gap. So we'll have to see how that plays at the D5 Ninjaball level, D4 level, whatnot. But boom, pulling the gun up, shooting that. So playing the Dallas means that getting out there in a perfect world, if I thought I could make it safe, I would definitely pull my gun up off the break, shoot my first paintballs right back through this little sliver at the God, and then cut out and shoot my next ones in this open gap gateway corner. That would be ideal. If I thought I could do that, I would definitely do it. Against the lower level teams, I could have totally done that on Sunday. We played Uprising all day though, so I was definitely a little concerned about trying that. I think we did Ellen shoot out there pretty successfully and didn't die off the break, but again, if people get tuned in, it's a little bit different to try to make that spot. But this guy gun up, boom, shooting this way, holding this gap is one of the ways to play it. He does have, the deep hold well, and then also the hold into the snake gap here. And then also this guy can race out here, guns up, boom, shoot guns up. And like we may consider playing trap on this side where the widest guy is the Dallas. And I say that because this guy going up to the turret has really good shots in the baby, and the back center does have really good shots into the edge of the field as far as the D1 in the corner. So this is a little bit more risky. I think we had good success making these spots. But talking to some of the other teams and like some of the lower level guys were getting kind of chopped up going D1 or corner. So we got to kind of pick our spots. I do think mixing that up might be just a successful way to play it. And I say that because if I know you're going corner and shoot the deep shot every single time, it's going to be a lot harder to make it. If I know you're going D1 and I shoot the shallow shot every single time, it's going to be hard to make it. But if you mix that up and I have to guess, there's a 50% chance that I get it wrong or whatnot. So mixing that up might just be the way to play it, or it might be something where we play it shallow and then break that cross when we can with the back center guy filling that way. And then the other thing that I was thinking about is if the Dallas guy's having a hard time making it off the break, he really does only have a super good shot into you from like the back grid off the break for the first like half a second of the game, first click kind of thing. And so once that click is surpassed, it may be we shoot the D shot, and then jump in the Dallas really quick. There was even times during the breakout drill where I kind of banked on the back center not shooting at me, pull my gun up, shoot the God, kind of give it a second where he's kind of past that shot, and then jump into the Dallas. Again, my concern would be if I had Dorito responsibility from the back center. Now that I play this layout, I would definitely pull my gun up and just shoot right back at those guys my first shots, because you have time to do it while you're waiting for the guy to get out to the corner gap. So it'd be boom, 1-2, and then here kind of thing. To kind of counter that. But again, lots of different options to get to that Dallas if we're having a hard time just running there. And then also like the baby, it's kind of an interesting bunker to me because the back center guy definitely can't shoot it or see it. He can only see like the direct outside of it. But the turret does have one little window where it has a super good shot into it. So if that guy's on it, during breakout drills, there was definitely times where I shot the Dallas and the baby off the break. It's hard to say how, if it's the same kind of simulation when you actually have to play it all the way through. But I do think that this guy really from about right here has a good shot into the baby, and the timing does line up where it's boom Dallas, boom baby. So good shots into it. And then from the baby, I think it's just about getting out of it and breaking this little edge of the field. This money bunker, as I kind of watched Uprising play it more and started to play it a little bit, it grew on me just a little bit. I pretty much hate lay down wings. I never want to play them. They're hard to play out of. I feel like you're playing from a disadvantage, and if you guys know me, like my whole thing about is trying to play from an advantage where we kind of have an upper hand on our opponents, and playing this little down bunker makes that hard to snap out of, gunfight about, stuff like that, because you're really playing from uncomfortable positions. But there is one thing I wanted to point out. This guy, so this little blue line, you'll notice it's like inset from this bunker. That's because it's actually kind of a trap shot. If you stood up over this bunker on the inside edge of it, you can actually shoot the gap outside of the back center before the Dallas. And the back center can't see you. The back center can literally only see the very outside edge of this. Heck, you could probably even stand up over this and blind shoot into the back center and make his life even harder, where if he's like looking to wrap and go, you might just blow him to pieces. But this guy being able to wrap and then hold this gap and then also shoot at the back center is one of the things that may free us up to go baby to D1 or D1 to D2. Again, you still have to work about this middle gun, but all of a sudden this guy wraps, shoots the back center, boom. This guy wraps, shoots the turret, and then this guy can make his bump, and you're basically playing 2-on-2 when it comes to the guns there, instead of it being a situation where this guy is trying to work through both guns like we talked about earlier with the back center and the turret both holding that way. So that's a big one. I do also think there's times where if we get stuck in these Dorito gaps, it may make sense for us to cut inside and across from the money to jump the gap. Boom, we make this jump here with this guy's help, boom, and then maybe this guy makes the next jump from money to D3 wrapping with the Dorito 2 players help. So just kind of that coordinated moving thing where we can make sure we're playing 2-on-1 when it comes to guns and stuff like that. And then, yeah, let's talk through some of the hold shots here. This field, I do think you can actually lock it down pretty well. And I say that because from both corners, they have to pretty much get behind you. As long as this guy plays really small in the Dorito corner, they have to get like into your S1/wrap the S1. And then same thing with this corner. There's been a few scenarios where I've been in the snake corner and they've been past the 50 and RD3, so danger D3. And I'm still able to live and play smart and just like kind of dig myself under that bunker. You do have to play it really tight. But you can fight out of those positions. So I think this field you can hold it. I do think it may end up being a little bit of a bloodbath off the break if guys can make these shots into the Dorito side and this little singular inside shot. But again, it may make sense to run past the God and past the Dallas to leave those spots open for the back center to slip into really quick and take over this responsibility. I don't love the God across the field early, just specifically because the turret's kind of in the way to get all the cross shot stopped, and it's the only guy that can really see and shoot into the snake inserts. So that's my quick rundown on the field layout. trying to think real quick if there's anything I glossed over, but I think that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions or any thoughts on it. Open discussion as always. I'm going to drop my Venmo and PayPal in the comments, so if you really like the content, feel free to donate, but don't feel like you have to. I am going to post this for all the teams before Ninjaball, because I want to make sure that everybody kind of has a fair chance at it, and like, I don't want to be favoriting any team, so I want to make sure it's kind of a thing for all the teams to get. And then also noting that it's a priority for me to post these because playing the NXLs this year, only having one weekend layout releases, basically means that my team has to be able to efficiently learn the layouts in one weekend. And so this is basically not a full weekend to play, because I did a Thursday afternoon practice and a pretty good Sunday practice, where Sunday was, I would say, a good full tournament day practice. So I'll say 1.5 weekends of preparation as far as thought process. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the Ninjaball layout. Comment, let me know if you have any questions, that kind of stuff. I think I'm going to try to do one of these little videos every single week, and it may just be dedicated to one position. It may be dedicated to kind of a whole field layout like this one. So let me know. Have a nice weekend, guys. I will see you at Ninjaball.